Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Oh, look. It's us on a screen. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay.
I'm concerned.
Why? Why are you concerned? Don't be concerned.
Why wouldn't I be concerned?
It's a heckin' concern.
Yep. Yep.
Whatever. Strokes having a David.
I got to say that the other
Yeah?
day.
You used it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Now everyone thinks my name's David.
I mean, you can always change it. It's a good name. Could be worse names.
Oh. What are we doing on this show?
I don't know what we're doing. It's been a while since we've done one of these because there hasn't been too much to talk about, but this week there's a lot.
Well, or somebody's been sick or somebody's been, you know.
It's been a colossal It's been a year. Look, it's February 22nd. It's 20 in insane countries. It is 22/02/2022.
22.
Yes, Sugar?
I could raise an objection and say that between us, I don't think you can say that you've got the same country anymore.
Nope.
Oh no, I'm just talking about for the way that we produced the date.
Written.
There's absolutely no bloody reason that the month should come before day. It makes no logical sense whatsoever.
I do get the logic to it because some people do say, oh, it's February 23rd today rather than it's the 23rd of February, but I'm with you. I write it, 23.
Yeah, but you can't tell if you've got the month first. You can't tell if it's the month of the day if you're in the first 12 days of the month.
Okay, we're going to do a quick exit to the date debate and go directly into gaming.
Okay, yes.
It's not an agreement, a passionate agreement.
Yeah, because we're sane. Anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about some video games because look. This week is a ridiculously good week when it comes to video games in that three games that I have been waiting for years and excited for years all came out this week. And it's been pretty terrible and also pretty amazing. I come out. One of them's not out yet, but it's coming out later this week.
What were the games that came out this week that you've been waiting yonks for?
Well, I'm gonna move to that when I start segmenting zero. What you playing? Because I'm gonna talk about the two of them that I'm playing. Because I've been playing. David. All right. I don't know which one I want to start with. You know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna start with a game that's not one of those two games. Because we haven't done one of these since I found the game, and I want to talk about it. I've been playing a bunch of a game called Vampire Survivors.
Did you survive?
Is a ridiculously awesome and ridiculous little $3 game, I think, on Steam that just ate, hours of my time.
Something you've really sunk your fangs into.
It a couple weeks ago it was like Steam's #1 seller or something because it's $3. It's $3 and it's really good. It's a how is it described?
Because usually for $3 with a name like Vampire Survivors, you'd think it sucks.
Oh wow, that was a good one. I actually like that one, Shiver.
Thank you. I put my neck on the line for that one.
Oh, jeez.
So what you're saying is it's fantastic.
Never go into a pun war.
With a master?
You can always count on me.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Go ahead, David.
I don't even know. Vampire Survivors is good. Check it out. It's a game. Jeez. Mine. What? Hello. Hi. Welcome to the podcast. We're going to talk about video games.
Is there a boss
Did someone just hit reset on him?
Yep. Reboot.
No one got my Nosferatu pun there.
Sorry.
All right. Did you play anything else other than Vampire Survivors?
I played nothing that has anything to do with vampires. There are no vampires. We're
Explain.
never mentioning vampires ever again. Shiver has too many pre-prepared vampire puns.
So I have to ask you, what is
wonder why.
Vampire Survivors?
Vampire Survivors is, the way I had it described to me is, it's a shoot 'em up, but you are the bullets. It's an endless wave of enemies coming towards you, and you are a vampire hunter in the center of the screen, and you walk around, like, one of them starts with a whip, and he goes whip, and he whips to the left or the right based on which direction you're pointing, and you just walk around a infinite, like, top-down area. But as you kill enemies, they drop things and you level up, and you get new attacks, and then you get, crosses that rotate around you, or lightning bolts that hit random enemies, or fireballs that and you just expand and expand and expand these weapons and these moves that you have, and it just goes until you die, and then you start again. And it is extremely simple and just really fun to play.
So you just basically, there's a load of vampires and you've got to crucifix a problem.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, it's really bloody good, and you should try it.
Are the stakes high in that game?
Oh no, there are no stakes.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway,
Wow.
Look, away from vampires, other things that I've been playing.
Is it co-op or single player?
Single player.
Because when it's co-op, oh, so you're always up to bat.
I wish this was vodka
It's
right
bad
now.
urine sample.
I
by the
literally
way,
was
guys.
going to say you were wishing that was vodka.
I wish this was vodka right now.
As is, it's just a really bad urine sample.
All right, what else are you playing,
Ugh.
David?
Look, I've also been playing Total War Warhammer 3, which came out this week. It's on Game Pass, which is great. I don't even know how to explain a Total War game. It's a Total War game, but it's the best Total War game that they've done yet.
I've heard it's pretty spectacular.
Hey, Zane. Yeah, nothing has
Hello,
changed
Zane.
here. Nothing has changed here.
No, nothing. No, we're static.
We're still professionals.
Oh yeah. Especially Shiver.
Yeah. Total War. I don't even know how to talk about Total War Warhammer 3 right now, because it's so good and also has so many problems that I hate, and I just want it to be patched. So the way Total War games come out, the Warhammer ones anyway, is they've launched with their like single player campaign, and then that has like its own discrete story, and then several months later they launch something called Immortal Empires, which is here's the large world map, take over the world. And all I really want to play in this one is here's large world map, take over the world, because here's a good example. So there is a race in Total War Warhammer 3 called ogres. They're pretty cool. They're ogres. But they have an interesting mechanic. And actually, all of the different races in Warhammer 3 have really interesting mechanics. It's I think some of the most varied mechanics for each of the races that I've seen yet in a Total War game. They're all vastly different from each other, which is really nice, right? They're all completely different. You've got 12 different, or I don't even know how many different races that you play that don't play anything like each other. But the ogres, for example, have something called a meat mechanic, which is they have to have meat to eat. They want meat. So your armies need to have a meat supply. And if you don't have a camp set up, your meat slowly dwindles as your armies eat through the meat supply. If you win a battle, you can turn the captives that you grabbed into meat, supplementing your meat supply. But if you run out of meat, your armies will get angry at you and slowly disband.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Which, on the main world, is not a problem. But Warhammer 3 has this new thing where, after a certain amount of time in the campaign, portals will appear to Chaos Realms, and you have to go into the Chaos Realms and kill things to get a thing, because you need 4 of these things to finish the game. Whatever. There's no way for ogres to get meat if they go into one of these portals.
Okay.
It's like, well, that just ruins, like, I can't, how do I beat the game as the ogres?
Chaos Realm is famously vegetarian only.
Yes. I don't know.
Have you looked at it? You looked at any solutions to this problem?
No, I just quit my campaign with the ogres and started a campaign with a race that doesn't have the meat mechanic. But it's.
I mean,
I like that he did
Chaos
that instead
Realm,
of Googling the problem. That's
Chaos Realm does have the Chaos God Khorne.
It does. It does. Hey, Niskavian, yeah, we're talking Total War Warhammer 3 a little bit here. Anyway, lots of it's the same as any other Total War game. But they've also added a whole bunch of improvements. The UI looks better. The turns run better. It's the best of the games yet. They've made a whole bunch of improvements on the previous ones. And the biggest improvement is something that honestly no one thought was going to happen. And I love. And that most of the time nowadays, if there's a multiplayer game, old Total War games used to be 2-player co-op, right? So you either played them single player or you and another friend could play them co-op. And when you were playing co-op, you took your turn, then your friend took their turn, then you took their turn, then your friend took their turn. Zane, I always require solid meat mechanics for my enjoyment. I find that I most enjoy meat when it is solid.
You don't like liquid meat?
No, I'm not a fan of liquid meat. Anyway,
Shiver's processing at the moment. I can see his brief.
That's the Shiver processing face. This time around, they've done away with 2 things. One, they did away with the 2-player maximum. It's 8 players. You and 8 friends can play this game together, which is 8 friends. I know, but I play in a group every Thursday. I've got a group of friends that 5 of us play games, and it is so hard finding 5-player games because most games cap at 4 players.
And now you have Total War.
We do, and we played it last week on launch, and it was very broken. But we played it. There is promise there, right? And I love that they've gone above this honestly archaic limit to 4 players, which exists because of console gaming. And you could split a square TV into 4 squares really easily. That's why we've got 4 players, and that's why it's standard.
There's a bit more to it than just that, but yeah.
But that's a part of it.
That's the origin of it, I would think.
Niskavian?
No, it's apparently not.
Really? What is the origin?
Yeah. It was a mix of controller inputs as well,
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then the fact of basically when split screen co-op was really big, it was, everyone had a console, but then PC gamers, being PC gamers, were like, I got more friends than that and would make their own LAN, but you wouldn't split the screen in those days. You would have your own dedicated screen. So, and then console ports over, and
It's an archaic.
Yeah.
It's an archaic thing that's just held
It is an
over
archaic
to
limit
4
for a
players.
modern game. Absolutely,
Yeah.
there's no reason to limit it.
Yeah. Niskavian, I agree with you. I really like Tomb Kings. I think they're my favorite of the races, and they're not in 3. But that's the thing. In a couple of months, when Immortal Empires comes out for 3, all of the races from 2 and from 1 and the maps are all going to be available in Warhammer 3. So you'll have
amazing.
like 40 races and a world map that is just it's insane. And that's why I'm excited for Immortal Empires. But the other thing they did with multiplayer, and this is huge, is they got rid of the you take a turn, your friend takes a turn, you take a turn, your friend takes a turn. Because when Total War turns can take 5, 10, 15 minutes when you get into the later game, and you're just sitting there as your friends do it, and you're like, honestly, when I was playing with one of my friends, I had my Switch. So I'd sit there and play something on my Switch, and then, it's my turn, put it down, play, and you always have that, hey, dude, it's your turn. I ended my turn. Go now, because they sat and did nothing for 5 minutes because they were probably off enjoying some solid meat.
Yeah, exactly.
But they've gotten rid of that. It is now simultaneous turns in multiplayer. So you and all of your friends are all taking your turns at the same time, and it just works. And it's like, it's amazing. It's amazing. So really, really like the improvements they've made.
That works a lot better, and that'll make games so much faster.
Yeah. Really like the improvements they've made. Really like Total War Warhammer 3. The last thing I've been playing that I'm not going to talk nearly as much about because Eric has also been playing it.
I'll be mentioning it.
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing is Horizon Forbidden West, which is it's really good. It's really, really good. It's gorgeous. It controls beautifully. The upgrades are great, and the weapons are great, and it feels so good taking chunks off these metal dinosaurs and picking them up and being like, ooh, I can upgrade my bow with this. And like almost everything about this game is perfect except for the platforming. The platforming bothers me so much.
It's like the platforming is better, and the funny thing is, it's better than Zero Dawn. Mm-hmm. I just finished playing Zero Dawn. Zero Dawn wasn't bad, but and Forbidden West isn't bad, but it's probably one of the weaker parts of the game, especially when you compare it to like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It's not the strength of the game. I'll put it that way.
It's not fluid, and I frequently find myself like missing jumps and falling, or like there are sequences where there's like that classic of video games of like you've got 3 posts sticking out of a wall and you like jump from one to one to one. Well, when you get to the last one, you just sit there. And you don't like step off it onto the walkway. You just sit there and you're stuck for like it's just under a second, and you're just stuck there. And you're like, do I push forward? Do I jump? What do I do here? And your character just sticks to it because it doesn't know to just step off. And there's just little things like that just
little glitches, yeah.
Little glitches, but otherwise,
I think some of it too is that we're playing it really close after release, and I think some of it's going to get patched out. Yeah. Some of the little bugginess, because there is a little bit I noticed coming from, because I actually just finished playing Zero Dawn. Yeah. That's a long discussion, but some of that glitchiness wasn't in Zero Dawn, and I think it might be able to be patched out in Forbidden West. Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about, or should I go over to me?
Go ahead, Eric. It's your turn for Zero Dawn talk.
Well,
I'll talk
about Horizon then to start, and then I'll finish with another game. So this week I finished Horizon Zero Dawn. So long story as short as I can make it. I got a PS4 Pro in 2020. Yeah. And I was playing some. I had never owned a PlayStation before that, and I was playing through some, classic PlayStation games, and mostly I got it to play The Last of Us, which was a very good decision because oh my god. But I also played Horizon Zero Dawn, and I really wanted to play it. Anyway, and remember, this is before it came to PC. But then the PS5 was coming out, and I decided I wanted to get a PS5, and I'm like, I should be able to get a PS5 pretty close to launch, and I wanted to make sure I got some money for my PS4, so I sold it before the PS5 came out. And then it was impossible to get a PS5 for a year, for me anyway.
Yep.
It took me a year. So, unfortunately, I sold it when I was like 90% done Horizon. So anyway, I jumped back into Horizon, taught myself how to play the freaking game again. There's always that moment where you're just like, what do I do? Anyway,
I really do wish that there was like just an option in games of like, I haven't played in 6 months, teach me how to play the game again. Like just on the main menu, like a dumb lazy person's tutorial.
In some games you can go back and redo the tutorials, and that kind of does the trick for a lot of people. Anyway, I finished Horizon Zero Dawn. I played the expansion, which was really good, which was Frozen Wilds. I really liked that, and then I immediately jumped into Forbidden West. Horizon Zero Dawn is a very good game, and the expansion was very good. Forbidden West is better. Period.
Yep.
Period. It is a better game, and that is amazing because Zero Dawn is a very, very good game. So Shiver, there were about 106 times in the last 2 days where I stopped playing Forbidden West and just looked around for a while, because it's like it looks too good. It makes me want to take screenshots all the time.
It is such a damn good looking game. I'm flabbergasted constantly.
I don't even know how they did it. Like there's like things like, so we talk about graphics hardware and stuff fairly frequently on here. Like they have moss that has like individual. They didn't make it look like a flat carpet. It has individual stalks for the moss, and like, just the forests are so detailed. I don't understand how they managed to do it, but I guess years and years of development is the answer. but it's very impressive. Their texture quality is extremely high, which makes sense. Like the game's like 100 and some odd gigabytes. Anyway, probably the biggest improvement though from Zero Dawn are the characters. That is not to say characters were bad in Zero Dawn, but the characters in Forbidden West are probably the best I've ever seen, bar none. They look real. They are to me. It's very hard to see how you can make them more photoreal than they are. And doesn't. The Uncanny Valley thing doesn't happen to me either, which is nice.
The only problems that it has, in my opinion at least, and it's generally not on the main character, it's on some of the other ones, is the like the facial expressions. Sometimes like the when speaking, the mouths don't really look real. when speaking, but that's the only thing. Like, the eyes are phenomenal. The the pores in the face, like, really, really well done. The hair is great.
Oh man, there's a really great screenshot I saw on Reddit yesterday of Aaron, who's one of the main characters, and the side of his head is shaved, and you can see the individual hairs on the side of his head, every one of them, and it looks like a normal part. Like, it looks like you just took a picture of the side of a guy's head.
Hang on, though. Serious question. Why does Aloy, who's the main character in Horizon, why does Aloy have a beard?
That was so...
Did you see... Oh, you didn't see that, Shiver?
Oh, that poor kid.
Okay,
I guess it's gotta be a kid who asked that, right? It's gotta be.
I don't think so.
It's gotta be a kid.
Anyway,
you don't think so?
I don't think so. Horizon, the characters in Horizon Zero Dawn are extremely detailed. Aloy is the main character. Her character is the most detailed, but like, she's got like hair on her face, like
she has peach fuzz on her face, like every other human does, like
people have.
Although the fact that it's even there is amazing detail that they put in there.
Anyway, someone on Twitter was asking about that. And
someone on Twitter was asking why they gave Aloy a beard.
And sort of got roasted for never having been up close to a woman before.
Yes.
It was great. It was great, okay? Anyway.
It was hilarious. And I felt so bad for that person the moment I saw that thread. I was like, oh, you're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shiver, you look like you're having some trouble processing here. Are you okay?
I've not played any that they don't appeal. They look like they're the games that I would enjoy when things go my way, and then when I get to those platform bits, it's just like fuck this, fuck this game, fuck everything to do with this game.
So here's the thing that gets me most about Forbidden West. Assassin's Creed was a very, very good idea. The open world of it, and the exploration and the climbing and the seeing things, and like, it's a very good way to design a game. But as Assassin's Creed has gotten further, it's gotten too big. Like, the land that is Assassin's Creed Valhalla is so unimaginably huge,
massive,
that at least for me, it loses a lot of the experience, and the gameplay hasn't really evolved, and it's a lot more like just swinging swords.
By the way,
and things.
This is not to say Valhalla is a bad game.
No,
it's an amazing game. It's just really big.
I think that Forbidden West is... I actually, you know what? No, here's an even better way of explaining this. Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild came out the same year.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake and I talked about them a fair bit, and Jake prefers Zero Dawn. He thinks Zero Dawn is better. They're both similar type of game. His preference is Zero Dawn. Mine personally is Zelda. But Forbidden West is better than Zero Dawn, and it is the absolute pinnacle of the open world game right now, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's as good as they get, even despite its problems.
The amount of detail that they have shoved into Forbidden West is just ludicrous.
I gotta say, I'm disappointed that no one has asked why I'm drinking coffee out of a beaker.
No, I thought it was a great idea. Why would you even question it?
I just thought you were fucking lazy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just take it off the percolator.
It's not percolator, it's for cold brew.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
So...
But Noscavian, I haven't got the fucking time to play these fucking games, because every day of my fucking life I'm writing Vampire the fucking Masquerade for you to fucking play in for 6 hours, and then no one fucking says anything after, and then I've got to go back to the fucking grindstone fucking afterwards, so I don't have fucking time to play these fucking games.
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
So
this podcast is rated mature for language.
Always has been. Fuck me. I don't even know how to. Basically, Forbidden West is spectacular. Like that's really all there is to it. The gameplay is amazing. It's just basically zero. They didn't screw it up. It's Zero Dawn, but better. It's just like they just made Aloy have more abilities. They fixed a lot of the problems with Zero Dawn. The only issues I've seen so far with the game are like little glitchy things that I think are because we haven't had another patch since the release. Like there's some little graphical things I've seen.
Right.
One I thought was really funny because this one character who is like a side character was like barely rendered. It was really funny because we're sitting at the table and there's like another character at the table, like across the table from us, and I'm talking to this character, and they're both like Aloy and this other character are amazingly rendered and they're just beautiful. And then occasionally the camera would flip to this third person, and they were just like a bunch of flesh blocks. Like,
love it.
I think it's not quite rendering that right.
So what else have you been playing, Eric?
But yeah, I would recommend if anybody gets time, Shiver.
And a PS5
to play Horizon, you should give it a shot.
And a PS5. That's the biggest problem right now.
Well, it should come to PC eventually, since Zero Dawn did.
I don't get on well with these console game pads. I've got a Steam pad, and even that, it's the analog stick that I'm not built to use the analog stick. It's just
that's fair.
And being like,
it's even right now playing Forbidden West. It took me probably 4 hours to be able to like relearn how to use a control and hit stuff. It takes. I don't like them.
See the state of how the hell do people use them these days? It's so impressive because this is just a Steam controller, and I've just been sat here going like, oh, okay, I got button there, button there. All right, no, you've got another 2 there and another 2 there, and I'm like, oh my fucking god!
You got at least 8 buttons, 2 sticks, each of which are also a button.
Yep.
I don't know how people do it. It's amazing using all these things. And I'm just like, in my day.
To be fair, your keyboard has like 140 some odd keys, so.
Yeah, but I don't have to sit here going like, oh yeah, although in Cyberpunk I do sometimes. But you know.
I mean,
anyway.
hang on. To be fair, I frequently have open when playing Star Citizen, I need a key mapping chart up because there are 112 different functions that can be pressed.
Yep.
So
I mean that's why I like the HOTAS and pedals and voice attack.
And voice attack, yeah, for sure.
Anyway, Eric, what else you played?
The other thing that I played in the interim, was I played through. This is very long in the waiting, by the way. But I played Ori, the first one.
Nice.
Ori and the Blind Forest. Which is an exceptionally good platformer. It's beautiful. It's hard. It's the right kind of hard. It's the hard that keeps you engaged and actually makes you feel like you're, accomplishing things. But yeah, I finished the whole game in like a couple days, and it was really good. I died 500 times. Yeah, it was like 484 times or something. It very courteously gives you a counter in the menu.
Nice, I like it.
Ori is really good. The funny thing is, it's gorgeous, and I thought, I'm like, how can the next Ori look any better? And then I booted up the next Ori, Will of the Wisps, and it looks way better than the first one. And I'm like, what? What did you do? That's kind of my reaction between Zero Dawn and Forbidden West.
Yeah, Forbidden West.
Oh, it's just I have taken so many screenshots. I am not as a rule, I don't stop and take screenshots all the time when I'm playing games. I have a lot of screenshots of Forbidden West, and I will probably continue to. Oh, something I have to mention because it's probably one of the biggest like direct improvements from Zero Dawn to Forbidden West. Zero Dawn, Aloy couldn't swim below the surface of the water. When she swam, she just swam along the surface. That's it. In Forbidden West, they have added basically massive underwater exploration, and it is really good. It's built really well. It feels good. The graphics when she is underwater are just mind-blowing. So yeah, it's a big improvement.
Is there so much content underwater you'd actually call them subplots?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. And I think we're on to Shiver.
Yes, Shiver, what have you been playing?
What have you been playing?
Have you played anything?
I have a long list of games that I've managed to get on for like half an hour, and then I'm like,
ooh,
I need to do some work.
Which is your favorite of those?
I haven't been able to play them long enough to tell you which is the favorite. It's like Street Fighter 5 went on sale, and I was like, yeah, I could do punching someone. So I bought Street Fighter 5.
Totally.
Did you punch someone?
Game. I did.
Good.
Game.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't
game.
played a Street Fighter game in many, many, many years. Is Street Fighter 5 recent?
No.
I think it's the most recently released.
2016. Okay, fairly recent.
Yeah, but because they've only just announced Street Fighter 6. But it's got. I was used to Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, and that was fucking nightmare, an absolute fucking nightmare. And Street Fighter 5 really easy, and then you get to M Bison, and it's like, what the fuck? How did I? What? Okay, that was unexpected. And you got to do all these fucking spider maneuvers on the game controller, and yeah. But at least I can punch people.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing.
I still prefer Mortal Kombat simply because the amount of blood, gore, and stuff that you can do in it.
Totally.
And, the stuff that they've added to it over the years to semi-interactive scenery, whereas Street Fighter is still very much that's Street Fighter. That's still the same.
Yep.
It's all right, and it was on offer, so I can't complain. I'm gonna leave that one till last. Evil Genius 2. They released the last of the season pass content. It's all right. It's all right. It's in some ways it's a step to the side from the first one. In some ways it's a step behind. It's all right. It's not too bad. It is very much a waiting game.
When I first played it, it seemed a little shallow. Is that still feeling that way? Yeah, okay.
It's not the first one. It's not the first one in that regard.
I will say that the best thing about Evil Genius, I think anyway, Evil Genius 2 is on Game Pass. So if you're unsure and want to try it,
you can try it cheap.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm back on MechWarrior 5.
I still mean to try that in VR.
Is there a VR thing for it?
There's a mod. There's a third-party VR mod.
Cool. Oh, very cool. It's all right. It's all right. It's not been able to capture my attention for very long. It's just very much this is this kind of mission. This is exactly the same apart from the mech combination and whatever. But yeah.
I think I booted it up and was sort of annoyed at how much story there was. I was just like, can you just put me in a bloody mech and let me shoot things?
Well, then you want to play Living Legends or the online multiplayer thing.
Oh, I don't want an online multiplayer.
Oh.
I don't want to play against other people.
I've been playing It Takes Two, or as we call it in this house, Divorce Simulator.
How's that been going, actually?
Really fucking good game.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Red Warrior 5 is worth a pick-up on sale, Miami, I'd say. I would imagine that you're like me and that you've played the others. But, it scratches the itch.
Mech Warrior 5, also on Game Pass.
Nice. Yeah.
It Takes Two.
Finally,
also on Game Pass.
I've been really impressed with It Takes Two, to be honest with you. Really impressed with that
deserve game of the year?
I didn't play any of the other nominees, bear that in mind. Yeah.
Because it seemed like that kind of quality.
Yeah. The only issue is that you need someone else to play it with. Like an actual flesh and blood person that is sentient.
That is the case. That is the case with all of this guy's games, though, right? Brothers, It Takes Two, and Prison Break. Get Out. I don't remember what that one was called. There was like a Get Out of Prison one. He's had 3 games.
Are they a series?
No, they're not a series. They're just all the same. Like, they're all 2-person co-op. You have to have 2 people to play them games. And that's sort of one of the, like, that's what he's focused on, is cooperative gameplay and bringing back this, like, It Takes Two is probably the best co-op game ever made. It's the best co-op game ever made. Like, it is. And Shiver,
I need to play it. I have something in mind to play with.
How accessible is it to someone that doesn't play video games?
She's had a lot of fun playing it.
That's
right.
She really has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's completely accessible to someone that doesn't play video games, especially if they've got someone that does, that's willing to, take their time and help. And I absolutely think that it deserved the game of the year.
There's this point that had the wife and I in absolute fits of hysteric laughter when you escape from this tree with psychopathic squirrels and one of them chases after you and you're on a fucking glider made of underpants and one of the players is controlling the plane and the other is in a fucking fist fight with a squirrel on top of the plane. Amazing.
I love it. That's incredible.
It is so good and so varied and honestly so hard to find a spot to put down. Like, it doesn't...
It's a co-op game.
But it's like, the flow is so good that you're like, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. No, what happens next? Oh, this is so... I love it. It's a great game. Yeah.
The main characters, though, are bad fucking parents.
Oh, they're horrible. But I think that's the point. But anyway. And what else?
Saving the potentially longest talk for last. Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, you've jumped back in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to jump back in, but then Forbidden West attacked me, grabbed my ankle, dragged me in. Did they fix it, Shiver?
Somewhat.
Was it ever broken to begin with?
Oh, fuck yeah. Still is in some ways. Content stuff aside, like, I would have liked to have been able to get in a train and take a nap to get to another part of the city. It's not in there. Okay, what the fuck ever. Small things like that. All right, what the fuck ever. I don't care. However, if they had released this version on release, I don't think it would have got quite as much bad press as it got. I've still had some pain in the ass, glitches and things. Like, there was this one group I was shooting the shit out of, and somehow he clipped into a building that I can't get into, that he can shoot out of, that I can't shoot into.
I had that happen to me one time when I was playing that game, and I'm like, "Go shoot me!" It's just, what the fuck?
Really? Okay, fine. My own mistake. I disassembled the like iconic gun you get at the start, thinking, "Oh, that's in my crafting list. I can just rebuild it." No, you can't. No, you need the original to build it. And it did give you this warning. Are you sure you want to destroy this gun? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I don't want to. Oh, tits. And there might be a way to get it back, but okay, whatever. My own fault. Hands up. Okay, but it's playable. I'm not. I haven't got a shitty rig. I'm running a 5900X and a 3080. I am still sometimes getting some drops in the most bizarre of areas that you're like,
just random hitching.
Why is this completely jacking my FPS? That shouldn't be right. And then you can walk through this area. It's full of all these lights and puddles, and your video card is screaming mercy at you. And it's like 60 FPS, stable.
Yep. And then you're like in somewhere that should be running fine, and it starts hitching. Yeah.
Niscavian, that is exactly my plan. Like, I'm hearing that this would have been a good time to release it. Like, that's what a bunch of video game journalists I follow said. Like, this is when they should have released the game. Hopefully it'll still get some support past its actual launch, and maybe I'll play it then. But
I honestly, given the company that made it, I expect they'll continue to support it forever, or for a long time.
Controls are lovely and responsive now. No longer does it feel like they've stuck a load of molasses under my keyboard, so that's nice.
That's nice.
Oh, I said I don't have
they completely rebuilt the driving. Is it better now?
It's better.
That's good.
Hey, Sargrath, how's it going?
It's a bit strange going at like 15 whatever they use, and then being able to handbrake turn around the corner.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
I like.
I got all the weird driving models out there. Yeah?
I thought Cyberpunk was all right. It wasn't the the be all end all that.
It's what
it's a good game.
It's a good game though.
Yeah.
If it runs on your system and you can actually play it, this is the problem. On console, it didn't run well enough to play, which is a huge problem. So that's really what the whole thing with this was, like this patch was mostly to get it running on consoles properly.
Well, and Cyberpunk is a phenomenal example that I hope other publishers and developers take to heart. Of they launched it before it was ready, and they knew they knew it was not ready, and.
They knew it's not ready because it's barely finished now, and it's like 18 months later or something.
Yeah, but they had set they wanted to launch it on time, and I think they suffered for it. Like Sony removed it from their stores. People were getting buybacks. Like they.
Ironically, I think they only really suffered in terms of their
reputation.
Because they sold a lot of copies that were never refunded.
They did.
They probably sold 8 to 10 million copies that were not refunded, I'm guessing. I do agree, man. I think they're gonna go full redemption tour with Cyberpunk, and I think they'll just continue to support it and add stuff to it, and just try and refurbish its image over the long haul.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing I hope for are the mods. I really hope that people can really go nuts with the mods, because today, like you're saying that Zero Dawn, is best looking game ever.
Forbidden West. The new one.
And I'm looking at Cyberpunk. It's like, some of this looks nice, but then some of the character skin textures, they're lacking depth. And I know some of them are meant to look literally like a doll, but it just gets a bit off. Everyone's got this perfect smooth skin and all this sort of thing, and it's like, I thought this was a grotty city.
Yeah,
and
Forbidden West does
really
well at
pearly
that.
white teeth perfect skin charging at me. Yeah. But
Forbidden West is actually like
you can get it cheap, get it.
Forbidden West has actually had some characters with bad teeth, which is not something you see often in video. Not like blackened but like just misaligned teeth because they don't have dentists and stuff, right? Like I like that.
By the way, I gotta give it some props because I didn't really before, but I have to say, whoever came up with the writers for this story, the story is really good
in Forbidden West.
For both games. Like I'm not that far into Forbidden West yet, but because really the story for those games is this huge arcing thing that happens over the course of both games. It's funny because I didn't even fully realize because I just finished Zero Dawn, right? But it leads directly into the next game, and they make it absolutely clear at the end of Zero Dawn that there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
I
want to quickly move us on.
Really
I want to quickly move us on to news. Oh wait,
okay.
That's game you want.
What about Segmentin 2?
I know.
We need Segmentin 2.
Fine. We were talking about it, and I wanted to have a good segue, but I'll screw the segue. We'll do Segmentin 2. All right. It's time for the accurately named Segment 2. One game you want. It's Segmentin 0. This is Segment 2. This is one's accurately named.
Yep. David, you start.
All right, I'll start. I want Elden Ring. I know that it launches in 2 days, at least for me.
That game is freaking crazy looking. It's gonna be interesting.
I really want Elden Ring. I really hope that it's good. I don't know if it will be, but FromSoft have a pretty darn good record. And
the design of the enemies is so creative. Like, I was just blown away watching the trailers and stuff. It's just insane. They're not like, there are some typical enemies, but most of them have some weird play on them that makes them quite different from most other games. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it just I think it looks really good. It's a evolution of the Souls format into an open world, which I think could be really, really interesting and really well done. And it has a lot of promise. I hope that it's good. That's what I'm excited for. And that was the third of my this week. I mean, Elden Ring has been one of gamers' most desired games for a decade now, or however long, right? Like, it's been a while. Oh, Nescavian, yes, please. 100% agree. Stormlight Archives is a great series. I would love that. Sorry, that was an aside.
I need to read that. It's a high on my list.
I would prefer a Discworld game, but Stormlight Archive would be excellent. Anyway,
they've done Discworld games back in day.
Yeah, back in day. I'd like a modern. I'd like. Can you imagine like a Skyrim?
Would you?
A Skyrim. Like the breadth and the openness of Skyrim and the ability to go all over these places in Discworld. Yes, I would love that.
Without Terry Pratchett, though.
I know, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Terry Pratchett would love it, though. He was a huge gamer. He loved.
Was a man.
He loved Thief. There are like there's like historical record of him going on message boards and just talking to people on message boards about Thief because he loved Thief so much.
I knew a lot of people who loved that game.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. Anyway, sorry, that was all an aside. I want Elden Ring. It comes out Thursday. I'm excited. I think it actually just finished preloading. It did.
Nice.
So I'm ready for it. Sure, what do you want?
Oh, no, let me go last so I can bring your segue back.
Okay. And yes, Miami Bat, I also like Thief. I would love a new Thief game that's actually good.
Mm-hmm. Who owns that IP right now? Does anybody know?
I don't even know. I'll check. Eric, what do you want?
I want a game called Lysera Summit Kingdom. This is a pretty cool one. It's a city builder. But basically it's you build a city on a mountain. And so you're building on like extreme angles, and the environment provides a lot of challenge for how you do your stuff. I believe there's no combat. It's just you're basically challenged against the game, like the environment more, if you know what I'm saying. And it is don't know the release yet. There's a lot of like preview stuff up on the Steam page. It's supposed to come out this year. But no, it looks really interesting. It's a cool take on the city builder. To give you those environmental challenges, and building on the side of a mountain, and like it's problematic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm gonna just quickly drop a link to the Steam page into our Twitch chat here.
That looks cool. It's reminding me a little bit of another one that I wanted, where you're building a city on the back of a walking turtle.
Yep.
I don't remember what that one's
high up
called.
On my wish list. That one's called The Wandering Kingdom, I believe.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
The Wandering Village. That's what
Wandering Village, yeah. Quick aside, Thief is currently property of Square Enix. Eidos Montreal made the last one.
Which means they won't make it anytime soon. Because if they were interested in doing it, it would have already happened.
Though, so Thief is not a multiplayer game, and it sort of can't be. But it is fairly like there's a lot of room there for story. And given that Guardians of the Galaxy was comparatively a success for Square Enix compared to Avengers and Outriders,
yeah,
like Guardians won best writing.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about that game.
100% deserved. But maybe they'll go back to, well-written single-player games, which I would love.
Maybe.
Shiver?
Thief doesn't quite have the same pull power as Marvel, though.
Yeah, but it could. If they did it well, it could.
It could.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Shiver?
So I was originally going to say Suicide Squad, but then it got delayed, sadly. So I'm going with Gotham Knights, which is hopefully still due this year, because I think that could be quite good fun. Basically a multiplayer Arkham game, hopefully-ish. That could be a bit of a laugh with your friend, or friends, if you're one of those people.
Mm.
Yeah,
that might be a reason for me to actually play an Arkham game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And obligatory Bloodlines 2. It has been over a year since we've had the last update, and all I can say is I hope whoever the new studio is able to pull a No Man's Sky on the code that they were inheriting from Hardsuit Studios and make a decent VTM game.
Yeah, so I'm going to move us there. This is the segue I wanted, sort of, because it's the Thorth segment, Hey Look Guys News, and we were talking earlier about how hopefully Cyberpunk can pull a No Man's Sky, and hopefully VTM can pull hopefully VTM doesn't have to pull a No Man's Sky, because they don't they don't pull a Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk launched a year early. They've spent a year trying to fix it. Now, hopefully, they will continue to do what No Man's Sky did, which just this week, they released, I think, their 8th major expansion to it.
Mm-hmm.
This one is called Sentinel. It introduces buildable mechs and programmable AI that can run those mechs for you, and a bunch of other stuff. Like they have supported that game. I still don't like the game.
No, I don't either, but kudos where kudos are due.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
deserve so much credit for the amount of support that they have given No Man's Sky after it had a
the easy
bad
thing
launch.
to do there would have been to look at it, to look at the whatever 40% or 30% they had at launch, and just go, okay, well, screw it, and then move on to making the next game.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that, and they basically just went, no, we're gonna fix it, and they did. To my opinion, it probably still isn't a game that I would really like. I haven't played it in a while, but I know a lot of people do play it right now, and a lot more people play it now than probably did at release. So
they added actual multiplayer. They added base building. They added pets. They've added so much more
stuff.
than was even promised initially. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so impressed with the support that they have given No Man's Sky.
Yep, nothing but thumbs up for me.
Yep,
on that front.
My apologies. I had to sneeze.
Yeah.
Wow,
Bless you.
that really hurts.
Any more? Just the one?
Hopefully just the one. Next bit of news, and this is surprising. I think this is the first time this has happened since 2004 or something ridiculous. Or 2016, maybe it's 2014, 2016. Anyway, first time this has happened in a long time. There's going to be, apparently, no new Call of Duty game next year. Call of Duty is finally going to take a year off, which is good.
I'm strongly suspicious that this is related to the acquisition.
Probably.
I've been listening to a bunch of people. I started listening to Unlocked, which is the IGN podcast that Ryan McCaffrey does, where they talk gaming all the time. Which is actually quite good, by the way. It's focused on Xbox, but it's quite good. But yeah, they were talking much about COD and like how desperate that series is for a break and like some time off.
Yeah.
And I think that Microsoft probably agrees.
I
mean, you're gonna lose the money, but I mean, at some point they're gonna kill the dairy cow there if they don't take a break.
Are they going to lose some money though? Because you can oversaturate your own market.
Yes.
It's not like a sport. Even I suppose even a sports game. I don't know. I don't do the sports.
I agree with you
I
agree with you long term, but the problem is that a lot of companies are so focused on the quarterly every year we have to have this money coming in.
Yeah.
So
that it's hard for them to look long term. Long term, you kill the franchise because it's going to happen eventually.
I have here's the way to think of it though, and this is probably the way Microsoft is thinking about it. There is a large untapped market for Call of Duty games. There's a lot of people that have not played every game because it unleashes every year, or haven't played any of them because who cares, right? I know. But you know what's supposed to happen in 2023? Microsoft gets Activision. 23? Next year, in 2023, Microsoft is supposed to actually get Activision, which I guarantee the first thing that they're going to do is put that entire Call of Duty backlog on Game Pass, which is going to push Game Pass sales and subscriptions, which means they don't lose the revenue. They're not going to see 2023 as a loss in revenue. They're going to see it as...
Well, they don't care anyway, because the only thing that Microsoft gaming is, like Xbox gaming is focused on right now, is building Game Pass.
Yeah. So
like, if it gets some more Game Pass subscribers, they consider it a win. They don't care.
And this is... I still think that the Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard is the best thing that could have happened to Activision Blizzard.
In that situation? Yeah, probably.
Blizzard has just a phenomenal library of just
IP
gaming history, and it has been completely pissed on under Bobby Kotick.
Yep.
And yeah,
I've been saying, like, I used to be a huge Blizzard fan, like massive. I went to BlizzCon in 2013, and the worst thing that ever happened to them is they never became independent. They really, really should have done the Bungie thing, and they never did.
Yeah.
And I never understood why. Like, they had the financial capability to do it. Or I believe they must have had the financial capability.
After World of Warcraft, they had to have.
Yeah,
but they never did.
Didn't Activision sort of do a somewhat hostile takeover of Blizzard?
No, they were bought
No?
from. They used to be owned by Vivendi, and then they were sold by Vivendi to Activision. So.
Vivendi owned Blizzard.
Yep.
Wow.
Blizzard was Vivendi basically. Like 90 some odd % of their revenue was Blizzard.
Yeah. That's a name I have not. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Niskavian, you bring up that they have cell phones, right? But I have to say, I played the Diablo mobile game, and I didn't hit
it's actually
the demo.
pretty good.
It's actually
pretty
not
good.
bad. Like, it's
pretty good.
actually not bad.
It's still not enough to get me to play it though. Like
No.
I thought it would be, but it's not good enough.
I'm not going to play it.
It's not the platform it's designed for. It's a Diablo mobile game. It's not a Diablo game that's on mobile. It's a mobile Diablo game.
Yeah. I'm not going to play it. Or at least I'm not going to put any money into it.
But it wasn't bad. It's not bad though.
It's not
Like
bad.
I did try it out. It seems fine. So,
Uh,
props to them for not totally shitting the bed, I guess.
Yep.
But keep in mind, Blizzard didn't even make that game.
I know.
That game was made by NetEase.
Yeah.
And it was skinned.
Yep.
To be a Diablo game.
But it's not horrible. Try it when it's free. I mean, don't put any money in it, but try it.
Don't like Diablo. I don't like any Diablo-esque games.
I'm actually quite surprised.
It's just very much a left click here, left click here, left click here, left click here. Oh, I get to play.
I see. Yeah.
Left click.
I thought you'd like the environment, like the setting.
I
thought you'd like the setting, but you don't like. What was that?
I'm not a big fantasy guy. I like sci-fi and futuristic things. Apart from, strangely, the Elder Scrolls and Dragon Age, which are like the most stereotypical fantasy things there are, and I don't get it myself.
That's funny.
All right, moving on to the next. Oh, hey Stormy, how's it going? Hey, new Destiny expansion today. That's cool. Next bit of news. I don't know if you guys ever played it. There was a little bit of a craze around it. I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? I don't even know when. Time has lost all meaning. But they have announced that House Flipper 2 is coming. And I'm excited because I really enjoyed House Flipper. Non-ironically, it was fun.
About the first one, please. What is the actual gameplay involved? Because I've looked at it, I'm like, why am I tempted?
Okay. So here you go, Shiver. You pick up a house by the base. You have to jam shit underneath it. Then you gotta pick it up, and then you flip it over and you put it down.
You can do that. With
you buy a house
as well. Shoplifting.
Okay, Shiver.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
You buy a house and it's like run down and disgusting, and there's cockroaches running around in it, and you've got a bunch of tools, and you go around and you sweep up the cockroaches by holding left click on piles of cockroaches until a little timer says that they're gone, and they go poof and they disappear. And you clean up the whole house that way by clicking left click on boxes, and they fold up and disappear. And you've got it clean, and then you're like, well, now I've got to start repairing everything, and you put in new walls or you break down walls here and there, and you redesign the house, and you paint it, and you furnish it, and you do some outdoor stuff, and you do a new garden, and you mow the lawn, and you plant trees, and you make it really good.
Does it come down to just holding left click on things, or is there a little bit more to it?
Well, there's a little bit more to it. Like, you do when it comes to plumbing, you have to put in the different screws in order. You know what it is? It's very much like PC Building Simulator, but you're flipping a house. You buy and repair a house, and then you sell it for more than you bought it for. That's it.
Did you ever play Viscera Cleanup Detail?
No, but I've wanted to.
I knew you were going to bring up that game.
I've wanted to.
It's very similar.
That's the only game. Yeah, that's pretty. I think pretty much the only game I've played that's pretty much in that sort of weird category.
I played that game with you.
You won't do it in real life, but you'll play a game of it.
Yeah. Except I love actually flipping a house. Right now, my kitchen is completely torn apart, and I spent hours today doing electrical and putting in.
You're not doing the end part of it, which is selling it.
I mean, I'm going to sell it someday. Anyway, I liked House Flipper. Someday, yeah. When I can't walk upstairs anymore. Need a bungalow.
Keep in mind, to give you some perspective on how well loved this game is, its Steam score is 93% on 50,000 reviews.
Yeah. It's a good game. It's also a bad game. Like, it's graphically unimpressive, doesn't run very well, but it's also just fun. It's a fun game, and I'm excited for it.
It's also like $20. Like,
yeah.
And that's not on sale. Like, when you get it on sale, it's even cheaper.
Yeah.
It's not designed to be some like AAA title.
We should get as many people from Relay as we can to play Viscera Cleanup Detail on stream one day, because it can.
We should. It's hilarious.
I would. We should do it.
Hilarious.
All right. Let's add it to the list of games that we all need to play together.
Yes.
I mean, that list is basically Among Us and now Viscera Cleanup.
Yes, it's true. So next bit of news, Steam Next Fest is on, which is Steam's festival where a whole bunch of demos are there to play and try them out. It's all indie games of things that are coming out.
Next Fest is awesome. Check it out.
Yeah.
I like demos.
Oh
yeah.
My god!
I like demos. What's that?
Ixion as a demo!
What
Shiver.
does?
Ixion.
Oh, yes. That's the space...
Iowan.
That's the, like, space station building repairing game. Ixion. Looks good.
Yes, it is. I'm going to put a link in Twitch chat.
This next one is important, and it's really good to hear, and it's something that unfortunately a lot of developers and publishers are having to announce lately, is that there will never be NFTs in Final Fantasy XIV.
Those devs are amazing, though. Not at all surprised.
Well, they also just announced that they are willingly slowing down the patch frequency for FF14 so that they can afford their developers more time and like a better work-life balance.
Work-life balance, yeah.
If there's no NFTs in Final Fantasy 14, is it just going to be called 14?
Yes. Yeah. NFTs are horrible. There are almost no reasons for them. They are horrible on the environment, and they should be done away with. Do not support NFTs or anything that has NFTs in it. Yeah, down with NFTs.
I was. Don't ask how I was having to do one of my many searches for pictures of generic Japanese people to put in my VTM game for players, because I like to do these immersive things. And upon my searches, there was this Japanese woman who was selling, as NFTs, pictures of certain parts of her anatomy.
Oh,
and
interesting.
I'm just sat here thinking, how does that work? Like, is it just from one particular angle? Or
it's that particular picture.
It's that picture.
You could take another picture, and that wouldn't be part of NFT anymore.
Is it? I mean, they're not cheap either. Who I mean, they're not.
It was
to find pictures of certain parts of anyone's anatomy on the internet.
It was explained.
I just don't get it.
It was explained really, really simply. Here's what it is. Someone has. No, you're not. You're not. You're sane. Look,
I am.
A bunch of people have invented a system. They retain all of the wealth in the system. Unfortunately, the only way for them to obtain real, fungible, usable wealth, real world dollars, is for them to sell the wealth that they own. So they have to convince people to buy into their system for their money to be worth anything. I have 1 million Dave bucks. But unless I don't like Dave dollars, it's an alliteration. It's a weird one. Dave bucks.
All right.
Spelt with 2 X's and a Z.
Yeah, of course. I mean, how else would it be spelled?
Yeah. Anyway, let's change topic. I don't want to go into a whole thing on how horrible NFTs are, but
I have some things I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Very quickly here.
Yep.
Among the demos on Next Fest right now are the Wandering Village.
Ooh. Yes.
Silt, which looks amazing and super fucking creepy.
Wandering Village demo. Yes, please.
A game we were talking about the other day. There is a black and white like game coming out.
Ooh.
For those of you who remember Black and White, called Fata Diem. And it is also in Steam Next Fest and has a demo. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff in there. Go check it out.
Next Fest, it's pretty cool.
Food Truck Simulator has a demo.
I love these random business simulator games.
I love them.
Amazing.
They're just the best.
Yeah.
And people honestly really enjoy playing them. They all sell well. They all get really good reviews. Like, what are you gonna complain about in that, right?
Yep. We sort of covered Street Fighter 6 was announced.
Yep.
Yep.
The fun apparent fact, alleged fact, fun allegedly, they are using a stock Adobe image currently for their logo. And
really?
The internet has gone.
Yeah.
I saw a bit about that.
Oh, somebody's making a Spore-like as well.
Ooh, I like Spore.
There's a game called Adapt that's also in Steam Next Fest that has a demo. And it is basically Spore.
There's.
I like Spore too. I like Spore too. It was never what it was promised to be.
Yeah.
But it was still a good game. And
also, if there's anyone that liked Pikmin, there's a game called Tinykin that has a demo right now. Pikmin for PC.
Cool.
Okay. News. Shiver. Bethesda.
What? Who? I'm not looking at Steam Next Fest. You're looking at Steam Next Fest.
I am.
What's the name of that? Black and white like game, Eric?
Oh, I'll link it to you. Fata Diem. Fata space DEUN.
Thank you. So what was that you were saying about Bethesda?
It's your piece of news about Bethesda, actually.
Oh, have you heard that they're getting rid of their launcher in favor of Steam?
I have.
Finally. God,
down with excessive launchers.
This is the consolidation of the games industry we need. Fewer fucking launchers. So many launchers. Oh my god.
I always thought it was a bit weird that Bethesda, of all companies, have their own launcher when it's like, you do know that you're owned by Microsoft, right?
They are now.
Yeah, that couldn't have once they were bought, it couldn't last for very long.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft's going to be like, okay, you're either going to be on the Windows, on the Xbox store, or Steam.
You're going to be on both. Microsoft has said they fully support the
both.
Steam, right? So it's you will be on Xbox,
Microsoft
Windows Store,
the Steam,
Game Pass.
Yes.
The Steam.
Ubisoft needs to do the same thing. The fact that they have their own launcher, Uplay is hot trash.
Yes.
Rockstar needs to do the same fucking anytime. I don't care if you want to use whatever fucking store you want. All right, it's your fucking choice, your fucking money. I don't give a fuck. I do give a shit about companies that are gonna be like, oh, we're gonna put this on there but you still have to use our launcher and the store launcher, and you're like,
and you have you have to
Really?
have a whole account and
Really?
everything. And like, fuck
how much
me.
DRM do you want on here? And it doesn't do you any good because it's been cracked already.
Actually, yeah. Words. Niskavian, you were talking about how Total War Warhammer doesn't run great on your PC. That could possibly be because of what's that stupid DRM called that everyone hates?
Oh, Denuvo.
Yeah.
That one.
People were saying that they were seeing like a 30 to 40 FPS drop in some cases after launch from before launch on people, and it's probably because they implemented Denuvo. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but companies should just stop. Period. Ever implementing Denuvo, because the only people they are hurting are the people that pay for their games. It's disgusting.
Themselves, well, because you have to pay for the license, and then you have to pay a subscription for the license for your game.
Yep.
And then you have to either patch it to get rid of it, or your customers can no longer play the game that they've purchased a license to play.
And if their servers go down, it has nothing to do with you, but if their end goes down, no one can play it. Yeah, it's garbage. Anyway, last bit of news, I guess. Ubisoft is open to being purchased. I think they've seen... I think they saw all of the, like, Bethesda and whoever Sony bought. I don't even remember who they bought anymore. And we're
what they're really saying is that we would also like $70 billion, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like the fact that Ubisoft are just standing there going, would anyone like to buy us, please?
Totally. No, this is notable because they had spurned previous attempts to acquire them. So this is a change of sort of stance, you know.
I would like Microsoft to buy them.
I think
Settlers, The Crew, Division,
Assassin's Creed is their big one.
Far Cry.
And
they also do all of the Anno.
I think
Watch Dogs
after
is dead.
3 games, Watch Dogs is pretty much toast.
Yeah.
Anno is a big one in strategy.
Yeah. They've got a good library.
They do have a good library.
They are having some problems right now due to all of the sexual assault charges. But
I wouldn't say those are problems now. They were problems like a year ago.
But it's still a problem for them. There's actually been a lot of talk about how they have turned a future, like an upcoming expansion for Valhalla. They canceled it being an expansion for Valhalla, and they are making it into a standalone Assassin's Creed game because all of the turnover has meant that their next game, Assassin's Creed Legion or Infinite is delayed further because they're having all of this high level upheaval.
They're going to make a standalone Assassin's Creed game which only is the content of an expansion?
I don't know. That's what's being talked about. It's going to be
standalone expansions have happened before.
It's going to be
I mean it doesn't sound like
No, I think the idea
most notably it happened to StarCraft. StarCraft 2, which had the 3 big campaign boxes.
The idea, though, Eric, is like if you look at something like Valhalla, it is insanely huge, and I think it's insane.
Massive.
The idea is to take this one and shrink it down again, so it's a more contained experience, more focused on assassination again, rather than.
So they took a Valhalla expansion, and they're going to make a different game out of it.
Apparently,
that's weird.
I think there's a middle ground to be found here because I love. If I buy a game, I want a fucking stupidly large, massive game.
Yep.
But I also don't want that to come at the cost of people like yourselves who just want something that's a lot more smaller and contained. Why not make DLCs More like expansions, like we had 40 years ago. And we could buy for a reasonable price and would just plug into the main game and expand the main game rather than diming us with crappy DLCs that are
to be fair, Shiver,
look at this color.
To be fair, the expansion DLCs to Assassin's Creed Valhalla have been exactly that. They've been contained and great.
There are most certainly exemptions from DLCs that are nickel and diming you. But by and large, it's $5 for a fucking item, and that's
that's garbage.
I think that's a quarter of the cost of an expansion, which was an entire campaign, whole slew of units and things. And when you do the maths on it, it's shit.
It's just brutal. Yeah.
And I say that as someone who buys Paradox games, which are famous for doing that.
Yes, they are.
And it's even extending into
actually,
other
I love Paradox
products. But they're actually reshifting their focus. They announced because their 2021 revenue wasn't very good.
Really?
So they're actually going back to their roots. They say from now on. We'll see.
How more back to their roots could they possibly go? They've never left their roots.
Are you saying that it's a bit of a paradox?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
They make the same games. They make better and better versions of them, more interesting every time. But they're basically the same games. Anyway,
out of DLC companies that release DLCs, I think the Paradox ones are more agreeable than other companies that will literally release a weapon for $5 or something like that.
Or the worst, the absolute worst offender, bar none, The Sims.
Sims is bad.
Just horrific, absolutely horrific.
Okay.
I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Infinite because of the concept.
Yes.
And I'm very, very interested in what that becomes because it's very promising. Anyway, go ahead.
Another Ubisoft thing I'm excited for actually is Skull and Bones, because we haven't had a good pirate ship game since Assassin's Creed 3.
I actually have news on that. It's very slight, but it is good news. Ubisoft was asked during an earnings report what the heck was going on with Skull and Bones, because it has been
years
problematic.
Yeah.
And they said that they're very happy with the progress, and they don't see any need to delay or cancel it in the future. This is, of course, notable because that game has switched developers and had changed the whole concept of it. It changed at least once or twice during development. They are now expecting it to release in the next year or so.
Yep, which is good. I like
that one is such a painful one for me because it was the easiest game in the world to make, and they just fucked it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
sorry.
Come on. All they needed to do was take the combat from Black Flag and make a standalone game out of it, and I don't understand why it has taken 6 years. Anyway,
it's because do you want to know why? Really quickly, it's because
they wanted to make lots of money.
They're trying to figure out how best to monetize it.
I know, and they fucked it up.
Yeah. Shiver?
Two things. Companies are quite reluctant to release pirate games because they can't make that much money on them, because they have to restrict the audience to R-rated. They also, they're not AAA games either. They can't be by their very nature.
Triple R games.
No, they're 7Cs.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I really hope that Skull and Bones manages to make its way towards being a good game, because I absolutely love pirate games that are good.
Yep.
There have only been a few. Black Flag was one of them. Assassin's Creed Black Flag might be the best pirate game ever made.
It is.
And it's not a pirate game.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I am moving us on.
Pirates is incredible.
I'm moving us on to segment. Get your free shit.
Because our show's supposed to be over.
And the other thing, they always have to put pirate games on sale.
Oh boy. Why is that, Shiver?
Well, because otherwise the ship won't move.
That's fair.
Segment. Get your free shit. Epic Games Store right now has Brothers free. We were talking actually about Brothers earlier. It's from the same developer that did It Takes Two, and it's free right now on Epic Games Store. It's a co-op only game. You have to have 2 people to play it, but it's free, so you can easily get 2 people to pick up a free thing. Also free if you own Amazon Prime, which at this point... Stellaris is on Amazon Prime free on GOG.
Ooh.
And a
anyone
really,
hasn't played it, grab it.
And a really interesting game that I tried last year sometime and rather liked, called As Far as the Eye. Now, As Far as the Eye is a really interesting sort of take on a civilization type game. So it's a what is it? What's that? 4X? 5X?
4X is correct.
It's a 4X, but instead of the expansiveness of a Civ game, because Civ games can take, 97 years.
Forever.
Literally forever. It's condensed into almost a roguelike system where you land on you start in a really small area. You've got a certain number of turns, 20 turns, 30 turns, something like that. And then you either meet the requirements to get out of that area or you die. And then you move on. You can choose the next area that you go to. And it's a smaller area and it's more confined in a smaller number of turns. But it's a smaller and more contained Civ game with a little more structure. And it's very interesting. As Far as the Eye. Free.
Interesting. That is
on
pretty
Amazon
cool.
Prime. Yep.
And see.
Okay, right. Yes. Sorry, I'm strokes having to David. It's time for what's going to be our last segment today, called This Segment Not Sponsored by Game Pass, Though It Should Be. It's the segment where we talk about...
You should have gone with what I told you to name it.
I don't remember what you told me to name it.
You shall Game Pass.
That's amazing.
Maybe I can put that as like a subtitle. I'll figure that out another time. I won't. You're right, Shiver. I won't. I will forget entirely because I'm horrible. Yeah, I'm a wanker. So new Game Pass additions since the last time we did this show are as follows. Dreamscaper, Telling Lies, Peggle.
Peggle's amazing.
Peggle.
You will lose your entire life to Peggle for about 3 or 4 days if you start playing it.
Yep. Peggle's really good.
So much fun.
I don't care. Peggle's good. Battlefield Bad Company. Besiege. Besiege was pretty good. It's been around for a while, but Besiege is now on there. It's
still in beta.
It's still in beta. You build. I don't know how. It's been like 18 years, but
it's been forever.
You build like medieval war machines.
Yep.
It's fun. And try to destroy like castles and stuff with them, but it's all in a very cartoony style, and it's like a physics-based game, but it's ridiculous.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Yep. Game Pass. The Last Kids on Earth. I don't know. It's some YA zombie tie-in. I think there's a movie of it on Netflix.
Is it a tie-in with Goat Simulator?
No. It's The Last Kids on Earth.
I love that.
That's
a good joke.
I don't get.
That's a good joke.
I don't get it. Oh, kids. I get it.
David. You have some of them.
I know. There's Skull, which is an action roguelite, with apparently featuring 90 playable characters, which is...
Holy man.
It's a fair number. Haven't tried it.
Edge of Eternity.
Yeah, Edge of Eternity, which is a giant epic JRPG in the... in the vein of giant epic JRPGs with a male character and a female character that have to go off on an adventure together and fall in love and save the world. Because,
Yep.
Ark is now on Game Pass. Infernax, which is... I have no idea
Wait,
about...
the name.
Good name. I know nothing about it.
The platformer.
Yep. Total War Warhammer 3, which everyone should play. If you have any interest in strategy games or in RTS or like overworld strategy, it's the best. Total War Warhammer 3, it is great. Madden NFL 22 is on there now.
I want to say about this. I'm quite impressed with the contract. I think it's EA still. No, it can't be EA if it's on Game Pass.
It's EA.
Can it?
No, because all of EA Play is on Game Pass.
Yeah, they signed it.
I'm
Microsoft signed an agreement
with the contracts that EA forms, because if this guy's still making games after he's died, like Tom Clancy, that's a hell of a contract.
It's quite the contract. Yeah.
Tom Clancy is also Ubisoft. Forgot about that. That's another.
Oh
big
yeah.
one.
I did say The Division.
True, but it's more like Rainbow Six, and Rainbow Six is Rainbow Six
I
is
never
one
played
of
the other 5.
It's too bad because the other 5 were better.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, excellent Metroidvania.
And RoboQuest.
And RoboQuest, which is seems like a co-op roguelite shooter. Don't know. Anyway, just the number of things on Game Pass is constantly staggering.
Far Changing Tides is about to go on there, as
Yes.
is that's like next week. 2 Point Campus is coming up in May, which is a ways away.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of other stuff that they've announced that isn't on the list on the Game Pass app.
Zane.
I would like to share something that makes me
Oh
happy.
no, Zane.
Shiver, what do you think the most popular game is on Game Pass?
I don't even know the full category. Minecraft.
Microsoft Solitaire Collection.
I'm sorry, what?
Microsoft Solitaire Collection, established 1990, is number 1 on Game Pass. Number 2 is Halo Infinite.
I can at least understand. That's quite impressive, actually, considering how recent Halo Infinite is. But
Halo Infinite's done really well, actually. Like, really good campaign.
I can't even explain it, but
good multiplayer.
The most popular game on Game Pass is Solitaire.
Everyone
Hilarious.
plays Solitaire.
Hilarious.
Pong.
Amazing.
All right, well, that is our
thank
show
you, everybody.
for this week. Shiver, what have you got going on?
I'm slowly slashing my wrists with the amount of stuff that's coming on. I'm working on my backlog. I'm finishing up a Wraith the Oblivion game. Demon the Fallen Chronicle is going to start at some point soon. I'm starting to learn a secret project, which will be hopefully happening this year. I've started work again on our Star Trek campaign, which is ongoing.
Excellent.
Another vampire game, which is ongoing. We've opened up over on Table of Horrors Discord play-by-post area if you want to play V5 VTM play-by-post. Just laid back, nice, casual, whenever you want. Join up on our Discord. This week coming up is a continuation of Nihon Nights, our VTM V5 game set in Japan. It's actually been really, really good. And I have to get my backlog finished because next month Homeworld comes out, and so does the Transformers TTRPG, and you bet your ass we're going to be playing them. Oh yeah, that's Friday night. I'm not sure your time zone, but it starts at 8:30 JST. Convert.
Excellent.
I think it might be 11:30 UTC.
Time. I don't
Friday
even know
night.
how it works anymore. And with all that, you can join us here on Saturday at this same time, or an hour and 40 minutes ago, same time, for the Relay Station, where we're going to talk about Star Citizen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry that we missed our show this week. I was not available, which threw a wrench in the works.
And I was really tired.
Yes. David died, and I was at a hockey game, so that made it difficult.
Shiver was ready and willing, but I just,
I'm not going to do it on my own.
No, that's not fun. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. And
I hope you all have an excellent week.
Yeah, and play some games, because games are good.
Play Forbidden West if you have any access to a PS5, because it's amazing.
And if you don't, Game Pass, Total War Warhammer 3. Do it, do it, do it,
Yep.
do it, do it.